Hello everyone. Today's movie is about a toy monkey that can play drums and has the power of a demon king. It is extremely cruel and murderous. Just like the Annabelle doll. Unlike Annabelle, who plays around for fun before attacking its prey, this monkey is a bit more serious. Every time it beats the drum, a murder will happen randomly. However, it will never attack the owner it chooses. It is unknown where this monkey came from and who will be able to seal it. In 1999, late at night at an antique shop, a man in a military uniform named Petty ran in panic. He went to the shop owner to sell an antique toy. When the shop owner noticed bloodstains on Petey's shirt, he immediately felt something was suspicious. But the soldier quickly reassured him that it was not his blood. After that, Petty took out a monkey that played drums and advised the shop owner to keep it in the most secret place. Especially don't turn the spring at the back, because if it starts to beat the drum, something terrible will happen. The shop owner didn't understand what was going on, thinking he was joking or just trying to fool the monkey into breaking it. But before Petty could say anything, the monkey's hands suddenly moved. It started to beat the drum. At that moment, a mouse suddenly ran to the shelf, bit off a hanging rope, causing it to fall into the warrior statue next to it. The spear gun flew out, shot through the shop owner's stomach, then pulled his intestines out, leading to an extremely tragic death. Petty witnessed the horrifying scene. He was determined to destroy this evil, so he grabbed the flamethrower next to him and burned down the entire shop. In the huge fire, the toy gradually melted, but things didn't stop there. After that incident, Petty also disappeared without a trace, leaving behind his wife and twin sons. Many years later, Hal and Bill were teenagers. Although they looked exactly the same, their personalities were completely opposite. The younger brother, Hal, was gentle and shy, while Bill was the older brother who often teased his younger brother. They were only told that their father was a soldier who died in the war, and that their mother was their only relative, but it seemed that she did not care much about her children. One day, while cleaning their father's closet, they accidentally discovered a round blue box. Out of curiosity, Bill immediately opened it and saw inside was a toy monkey with a note to wind it up to see what would happen. Hal, with his gentle nature, advised his brother not to touch his father's things. But of course Bill did not listen. He immediately wound the monkey's back. However, nothing happened except that it opened its mouth to smile and raised a drumstick. Thinking it was broken, Bill threw it to Hal. That afternoon, the maid came to take the two brothers out for dinner, because their mother was busy again. When Han got in the car, he found the strange monkey next to him. Thinking that his brother had brought it, the three of them chose a Japanese restaurant and happily waited for the food. While the chef was cutting the meat, the monkey alone in the car suddenly moved to the front seat and started drumming. Just as it finished the last drum beat, the chef suddenly swung his arm and chopped off the maid's head, sending it rolling around on the table in front of the two brothers' horror. Her funeral took place immediately after that as an unfortunate accident, but Hal and Bill still couldn't calm down about the incident that day. The mother hugged her two sons, trying to comfort them that death was natural. Everyone would have their time to go, so they should focus on enjoying the present. Even though his mother coaxed him, Hal still found it difficult to do so, because every day at school he had to face bullies. The next day, when he came home from school, he suddenly found the toy monkey sitting on the shelf behind him. Hal got goosebumps and quickly asked his mother if she had brought it here. But she denied it. Hal began to suspect that the maid's death was related to the monkey. That night, Hal woke up curiously and tried to observe the toy. Bill accidentally saw this. He mocked Hal for being a shy kid with no friends, having to talk to the toy. The next day, Hal went to school. He felt like someone was looking at him. Hal was shocked to find the monkey in his backpack. His classmates saw him carrying the toy and teased him. Bill was the older brother who did not protect his younger brother and colluded with those bad friends to cause another bullying incident. Hal sadly returned home with dirty clothes, and saw the monkey appear on his bed again. In anger, he exclaimed that he wanted his brother to die and started winding the monkey's clock. Immediately when Bill returned home, the toy in the room started to beat the drum, but nothing happened to him. In return, when Bill went into the kitchen to find his mother, she was making a cake for them. Then her face suddenly showed a look of horror. Then her body bled profusely and fell to the ground. After being taken to the hospital, she passed away. The death was diagnosed as an aneurysm, a very rare disease. Both brothers were extremely shocked by their mother's sudden departure, especially Hal because he knew that the toy monkey was the murderer and that he had killed his mother. Hal immediately brought it to the table and decided to use a knife to cut it into pieces to destroy this evil toy. But when he cut off the monkey's arm, A strange black liquid suddenly flowed from inside. Hal still did not stop. He continued to cut the monkey into pieces and threw everything in the trash. Because their mother died when they were both too young, Hal was protected by his aunt, Ida. The two moved to live in Casco. Her aunt's husband, Uncle Chip, was very kind and loved his wife's nephew. He also spent time talking and comforting the two brothers. After that unbearable shock, Bill was no longer as cheerful as before. One day, when Bill was watching TV downstairs, he suddenly saw something outside the window. He went closer to look and saw that it was the broken toy monkey. Bill was a bit scared, and as soon as he turned around, he saw that it had appeared inside his room. Hal panicked and said that he had already chopped it into many pieces. Maybe this thing was possessed by a demon. It was the one that killed his mother and the maid. Bill felt the same way, but with his mischievous nature, he wanted to test their speculation by twisting the wire again despite his younger brother's objections. This time, the one who died was their Uncle Chip with an extremely horrible and strange death. When Uncle Chip went hunting and he went to sleep in his sleeping bag, he suddenly appeared in the middle of a herd of horses and was trampled to pieces. Bill now knew what fear was, so he discussed with his brother how to destroy it. The two brothers locked it with a chain and threw it down a deep wild well near the house. It was not until 25 years later when the two brothers had grown up and moved out of the house. That night, Aunt Ida was sleeping alone in her room when she suddenly heard a strange noise from outside. She was also very brave, so she took a gun and went down to the basement to check. The lights suddenly flickered. Suddenly she saw a toy monkey sitting in the corner of the room. Just as she decided to go back, the stairs suddenly broke in half, causing her to fall into a pile of old things and get a hook stuck in her face. Ida painfully went to the bathroom to remove the hook. At this time, she smelled a gas leak, so she went over to the stove to check. The fire suddenly flared up and burned her face. She looked like a speeding ghost. When Ida tried to run outside to escape, she was so panicked that she accidentally hit her head on a nearby advertising sign, leading to an inexplicable death. Meanwhile, Hal was working as an employee at a grocery store. He was once married and had a son named Petty. However, they later divorced because Hal was always worried that the monkey would come back and harm his family. To be as safe as possible, he agreed with his wife to only visit his son once a year. Today was that day. After work, Han immediately drove to his ex-wife's house to visit his son. But she didn't want to welcome him very much. At Aunt Ida's house, after her death, the brokerage company decided to sell some of the assets before putting the house up for sale, including the toy monkey. Next door, a young man named Ricky came and chose to buy the monkey. Hal wanted to take advantage of this meeting day to take his son to the zoo. They rented a motel nearby to spend the night. Late that night, while he was sleeping, he had a nightmare, signaling that the monkey had returned after more than 25 years. Hal woke up with a start and received a call from an unknown number. It was his long-lost twin brother. He informed him of Aunt Ida's strange death and suspected that the monkey was the cause. He panicked and told Hal to go back to his aunt's house to look for the monkey before more unfortunate things happened. However, Hal did not want to get involved in that anymore. While talking, he saw a woman about to jump into the nearby pool. Suddenly, the air conditioner's hot block fell from the ceiling, causing an electrical short circuit. Hal tried to warn her but could not. She jumped down, causing her body to explode into pieces. This incident brought Hal back to that nightmare period. Feeling that something was wrong, Hal immediately packed up his things and dragged Petty away, running straight to Aunt Ida's house instead of the zoo. A woman knocked on his car door, introducing herself as a broker named Barbara. Hal said that he came to pick up some old things, and she happily took him inside. After the two talked for a while, Hal learned that there had been a lot of strange deaths in this town recently. After Aunt Ida's death, the neighbors nearby also died one after another due to unexpected accidents. After hearing those words, Hal immediately understood that it was the monkey who had caused the trouble. He knew he had to find it as soon as possible. When they got to the warehouse, Hal felt that something was wrong and didn't want to open the door. But Barbara, who didn't know anything, still gave him the key. Just as the door was opened, a gun hanging inside suddenly fell down and fired, killing Barbara. Hal's body was covered in blood and the police immediately arrived. They seemed very calm because this was a daily occurrence in town. Strangely, outside the house, there was a group of teenagers dancing as if celebrating the accident that had happened. In a panic, Hal returned to the motel and received a call from Bill. He said that he still hadn't found the monkey. At this time, Bill speculated that someone was using the monkey to kill people in town. They agreed to meet tomorrow. Then he hung up. making Hal a bit confused. On this side, Bill sat alone in the dark, with a key around his neck. It turned out that all the recent deaths in town were his work, because he suspected his younger brother was the one who caused their mother's death. That year, Bill secretly returned to the well where the monkey was thrown, but the monkey had disappeared without a trace, leaving only the key to the clock. For the past 25 years, Bill has been in town and has been searching for the monkey everywhere but has not found any results. Until the news of Aunt Ida's death in a very strange accident, he immediately knew that the monkey had returned and found Ricky holding it. He bought the toy back and carried out his plan of revenge. At first, Bill wanted to use the clockwork monkey to kill his younger brother. But unexpectedly it did not follow any rules and only randomly killed other people in town. Meanwhile, the vagabond Ricky seemed to be obsessed with the monkey, constantly asking to buy it back from Bill. But of course he did not agree. Seeing that, he went to the motel where Hal and his father were staying, pretending to be a police officer to threaten Hal, wanting to use them to exchange for the monkey. He didn't expect that all the tragedies in town were caused by his brother. At this time, Hal briefly explained his past to his son, although he didn't believe much in the ghost stories about the monkey. A moment later, the father and son were brought to Bill's house by Ricky, who told Petty to go inside and find the monkey for him. Hal could only tell his son not to wind the monkey's back at all costs. The boy just crept into his uncle's house. As soon as he entered, he stepped on a trap that caused a hammer to fall down, almost killing him. Petty was quite smart. The next time he started to be more careful, avoiding stepping on the pre-wired wires on the stairs, successfully avoiding the trap inside. The first time he saw his uncle, who had a face exactly like his father, he felt a sense of trust, so Petty told him everything. Bill immediately gave the boy the monkey, saying it was a gift his grandfather left behind. He thought that if Petty wound the spring, maybe this time the monkey would kill Hal. Petty didn't believe his father's story, so he did as his uncle said. When Petty wound the spring, the monkey immediately laughed and beat the drum. Hal, who was outside, saw a hornet's nest in front of the car. He wanted to back up, but Ricky, in a panic, accidentally shot out the car window. The angry bees immediately swarmed out like a broken hive, landing straight on Ricky's mouth, causing him to die immediately. Seeing that scene, Hal was scared and immediately ran into the building to find his son. Inside, Bill saw that the monkey had killed the wrong person this time. He ordered Petty to wind the spring again. The boy felt uneasy and did not comply. He immediately rushed over and punched Petty in the face and frantically wound the spring. Bill screamed furiously, wanting to pull the monkey's hand to beat the drum. But suddenly the monkey pushed him to the ground and beat the drum himself frantically. Before Bill could sit up, he heard a loud noise outside. He ran to the window and saw a plane crashing into town, killing a series of passengers. The corpses fell heavily in front of him. When Hal ran up, he angrily asked Bill why he did these things. He then confessed everything and blamed Hal for killing their mother. So Bill wanted Hal to die to pay for his life. Hal was not angry when he heard this. He did not deny the wrongs he had done, but only said that his departure could not change anything, because the monkey was the one who was really responsible. Bill seemed to wake up and resolve all hatred. The monkey beat the drum again, activating the traps Bill had set in the house. A bowling ball shot towards Bill, causing his head to fly off his body. Hal and Petty finally took the monkey out of town, surrounded by corpses and screams. Instead of trying to destroy it again, Hal decided to keep the monkey by his side to prevent anyone from activating it again. The movie ended here. Thank you very much for your support so that the channel can develop as it is today. If you find it interesting, please give me a like and a comment about this movie. Especially, please subscribe to the channel to follow my latest movie summaries.